If you're thinking about living in southern Maine, here are the 3 things you must know about living in Maine in the fall. Let's get into it. By the way, my name's Margaret. My dad, Michael, and I make videos to educate you about living in the southern Maine area. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. All of our information is down below, as well as some free downloadable resources for you to use as well. All right, so the first thing you must know about living in Maine in the fall is going to be our peak foliage season and the timing for that. So if you're visiting or planning on moving to or living in northern Maine, peak foliage is going to be like late September in some areas. And here in southern Maine, it's going to be as late as mid-October. What I mean by peak foliage is before the leaves fall off the trees. So, maybe some of them have fallen, but generally speaking, all of the leaves have turned red, orange, yellow right before they fall off the trees, when everything is still really beautiful and vibrant here. In my opinion, this is the best time to visit the state parks, our national park, Acadia National Park. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm not going to say it's necessarily significantly less busy in the fall. It definitely is still busy in our national park as well as our state parks, as it's a really beautiful time of year to visit. Lots of people come just to see the leaves turn colors. It might be a little bit less busy than the summer, but we still have quite a few people here all the way through October. All right, the second thing you must know about living in Maine in the fall is going to be our fair, festivals, and event season. So fairs in Maine start kind of in mid to late August, and they go really all the way through October. We have them really across the state. Down here, a really popular one would be the Freiburg Fair. Maybe about 2 hours north of here would be the Common Ground Fair, which is another popular one. The Daramuscata Pumpkin Fest is a really popular one. They are all over the state. That doesn't even scratch the surface of things, really. But if you're looking to visit the different fairs and festivals and really get involved in that in southern Maine, a great resource would be Facebook. I use this, I tell people to use Facebook for everything. If people are, they're having a hard time with Zillow and Realtor.com for rentals, we don't really deal with rentals, but I tell people that another great place to look would be Facebook. Check the local Facebook pages for things that you want to do in the area. People are constantly posting stuff, especially in the fall, between the different fairs and festivals and events going on. It's not just in the summertime, different local races that people can run. There is tons going on, and if people are marketing it, they're definitely marketing it on a Facebook page. It's also not only a great time to visit the state and national park, but it is a fantastic time to visit those small coastal towns that get really, really busy in the summertime. So, for example, down here we would have York, Ogunquit, Wells, Kennebunkport, all great places to visit in the fall. We still do obviously have people here like we do across the state for, people want to see the foliage, they want to see the leaves turn colors pretty much all the way through October. And then you're going to have a little bit of a break before the holidays kick in. But it is significantly less busy than it is here in the summertime. So it's a great time to visit all of the different restaurants and, cute local shops before they shut down for the season. We've talked about this quite a bit on our channel, how the different restaurants and shops sometimes shut down for the winter, depending on where you live, and depending on the nature of the store and the nature of the restaurant. But now more than ever, restaurants are staying open. Later in the year, they're staying open for the entire year. We've definitely seen a lot more of that in recent years. But for those shops that do shut down, the fall is a great time to visit them before they shut their doors for the season. And the third thing you must know about living in southern Maine in the fall is going to be our unique wildlife. So Maine has some really unique wildlife that they don't have in other parts of the country. A huge reason why people visit Maine in the fall is because they want to enter the moose lottery or they just want to see a moose. You're not necessarily going to see them here in southern Maine, like in Wells, but if you travel north of here, you definitely have a fairly good chance of seeing one. And different parks offer, guided tours to see this sort of thing, even if it's just, some of them are just for nature or just to see the leaves fall off the trees. Some of them you can go on moose tours. You're not guaranteed anything, but they'll take you to some different spots where you might have a good chance of seeing one. It's a great time to see certain birds before they fly south for the winter. Generally speaking, it is a great time of year to visit and try and see some wildlife, and a really beautiful time of year to visit as a whole. And I also just wanted to briefly mention that the fall is hunting season in Maine. So if that's something you're into, obviously this is a good time to visit. Maine also, like I said, has a moose lottery. If you are interested in hunting a moose, that is something you have to enter. You can't just, go out and go hunting for birds or deer, for example. You do have to enter a lottery in Maine for moose. So if that's something you're interested in, it's just good to know. So those are the 3 things you must know about living in Maine in the fall. I hope you found this video helpful. And again, my name's Margaret. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. All of our information is down below, as well as those free downloadable resources for you to use as well. And we'll see you next time.